Hey, indie filmmakers, I'm Nick Bodmer.
I'm Griffin Hammond, and today we're figuring out how much should you pay yourself to make a feature documentary. Hey, Nick.
$1 million. Episode over.
All right. See you next time.
Bye-bye.
No, I thought...
No. Okay, this is an interesting question.
Yeah. We got an email from a Nicholas who lives in Oregon. And he says, first of all, I want to say your podcast is fantastic. It's inspired me as an independent filmmaker to continue pursuing what I love. And he let me know that this guy that he knows, or he became acquainted with in El Salvador, or actually this is the guy who immigrated to the U.S. from El Salvador, is willing to fund a documentary about himself. I guess sometimes you encounter clients like this. And so this guy says he's willing to fund a trip to El Salvador, purchase equipment, and compensate Nicholas for the production of his film. And so, you know, I suppose a client could have any number of reasons they want a film made about them. They want to, maybe for political reasons, get their story out there, take it to film festivals, whatever it is. The client is asking him to set his price to produce a documentary feature film. I assume it's going to be just him making it. So he's trying to figure out how much the equipment could cost. And then he's just wondering, how much should this cost? He's thinking it could take up to 6 months. I would bet it would take more than 6 months to make this.
It always takes longer than you think. Take your estimate and double it, and you're probably closer.
So yeah, let's think about Sriracha. I mean, Sriracha was a 33-minute documentary, and that took me 8 months to make.
Right.
I gotta think.
And you're no slacker.
I mean, maybe I put more work into each minute of a 33-minute film more than someone might put into a 90-minute film per minute. So maybe you could still accomplish it in 8 months. But I would think it's going to be at least a year of work. So
I have one big question that I think will frame the rest of the discussion, and we may not know the answer, but my question is, does Nicholas keep the rights to the film, or is he giving up all copyright? Meaning, can he use it going forward? Can he take it to film festivals? What is that end product? Does the customer client just want it for them, and you also get to keep creative rights so you can go do stuff with it, or do you just have to hand it off and never talk about it again?
I mean, I would guess if he's talking about compensation, that he's giving up the rights. I think anytime you do client work, where unless you're specifying in the contract that you're sharing copyright, I think the courts uphold that if you're working for hire, if someone is paying you for a product and then you deliver that product, I think it's their copyright because they paid you. Right.
But that might be something that's negotiable. If you say, hey, I would love to do this project and I can probably do it for a little less if we co-own the copyright, or we both have full rights to the film, so I can go use it to launch my career. Like you use Sriracha as kind of a launching board for your career. So I think even if you didn't make money on it, it was probably still very valuable for your career. So that's just something to keep in mind.
Well, yeah, that's a good way to think about it, that this will offer value in other ways besides money. I mean, Sriracha made $78,000 of profit above its production cost of $12,000. It did that over 3 years, which sounds super impressive, but if we were to divide that by the 3 years, I'm making a salary of around $24,000 a year or something, or $25,000, $26,000 a year to make Sriracha. Like, it wasn't worth...
You can't live on that.
Yeah, you can't live on that. It's nice that it made a profit. I'm really excited about that. But I think...
Well, I'm sure you could live on it. We probably sound crazy when we say you can't live on that, but not in Manhattan.
Right, definitely not where I live now. And I'd be close to the poverty line when I was living in central Illinois. So it's not... I think if he's thinking about the cost to charge this client... I guess he has to figure out how this fits into the rest of his life and how else he's earning income. But if it's just going to be from this film, if it's his sole focus for a full year, he has to think about what is the amount of money that he needs to live on.
Exactly. So do you have a number you want to throw out there? Like, well, I mean, if this request came to you, I mean, are you quoting your day rate, or how would you tackle a larger project than just like a week-long project?
Well, yeah, normally I would start with my day rate, which is $1,500 a day. I mean, let's say that I worked on this for 52 weeks and charged a full, I mean, I might give a discount because it's a big project, but let's say it was 52 weeks times 5 days a week times 1,500. Right there, that's $390,000. That'd be a pretty good salary.
Easy. There you go. Nicholas, $400K, documentary, done.
I mean, clearly you're not going to be able to charge that much. And I mean, granted, I don't know if I would be able to take on a full year-long project right now like that.
Right.
But I probably wouldn't charge a client that much. I guess there's kind of two competing things you need to think about. One is, what is the minimum amount of money you'd be willing to take to get out of bed to work on this project? To like he said in his question, he is going to have to give up lost income from his own business. He can't take on other projects during this time. So what is the minimum amount that it would take to get you out doing it? And then also, what you have to put yourself in your client's shoes. What value are you providing to them? You probably can't throw out the number $390,000 because there's no way this film is going to give them that much value. Well, at least I don't think so. So what is the maximum value they would see in it? Maybe they see $80,000 worth of value, and maybe you need at least $30,000 to get yourself out working on it. So now you have a range that you can negotiate in your mind. What number in between those two would you be happy with?
If you were just gonna, all right. So if I say pick a number right now, just and knowing there's a million details we don't know and can't really say, but just pick a number. What do you say?
I mean, it's different for me than it will be for Nicholas. He's in Oregon. I'm in New York City.
I know. Just throw a number.
I mean, for me, it would have to be between $200,000 and $300,000, I think.
Yeah. Okay.
But in a different market, back when I was living in Illinois, around the time I made Sriracha, I probably would have been super excited if someone said, "I'll give you $50,000 to $60,000."
That's right where I was going to say. $50,000 to $100,000 is probably, the meat in the middle. And if they're not anywhere near that price point, then you probably are going to need to bow out.
But that's what scares me, is just knowing that a number that high. I mean, I don't know anything about this client, but that sounds like that would scare a lot of clients away.
Sure.
Especially if this is the first time he's made a film. I don't know what his skill level is. And so he does have to decide. Maybe there is other value he could get out of this, and maybe it is worth working on for as little as $15,000, $20,000. I don't know how this fits into his life. Can he do this on the side of other things, still make an income? I don't know. Those are all important considerations.
Good luck, Nicholas. I hope it works out.
Yeah. So I do want to mention that today's episode is brought to us by Squarespace.
Hey Indie Filmmakers is brought to you by Squarespace. Bring your stories to life with Squarespace, the easiest way to create an exceptional website, blog, portfolio, or online store.
As you all know, the Hey.film website, the Hey Indie Filmmakers website, is hosted on Squarespace, so is griffinhammond.com. I found that it's a good way to host and publish a podcast, also just have a website to maintain my professional portfolio online. So I think I'd recommend it, Nick.
And here's a special offer for our Hey Indie Filmmakers audience. Try Squarespace free for 14 days and receive 10% off your first purchase by visiting squarespace.com/Griffin. All right, well, another short but great episode in the books. Good job, Griffin.
Yeah, and thanks for the great question from Nicholas in Oregon. I hope you figure this out.
And if that project takes off, let us know. We'd love to hear about it.
Yeah. Thanks
and
for watching.
We will talk to you guys all later.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
My camera just died. Are you kidding me?
Did it run out of battery?
You see, Griffin, when you haven't done the podcast in a while, sometimes you forget to charge the battery.
Oh, no.
But we're good. We got another one. We're ready to go. Just ruined a great thought.